Welcome Tech Brothers Amir. In this video, we are going to learn how to read data from ADLS Gen2 and load into the Lakehouse table by using a pipeline. So here am I in the Fabric, and let's say if I go to workspaces, I have two workspaces and one of them is a sales WS. I created some folders to manage my workspaces items and then Lakehouse items are sitting under the Lakehouse folder. So here is my Tech Brothers Lakehouse, and then you can see that we have tables and we have files. So think about a scenario where I want to load some file from the ADLS Gen2 to this tables folder here in the Lakehouse, and those will be Delta tables. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here and show you some folders I will be using. Here is my storage account, and then in the storage account I have, let me take you to the folder structure, and then we go to the data storage containers. So here is my container, and this container has many folders. One of them is input and it has customer files, sales data and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and load one of the files to the table and show you how exactly this works. So here in the Lakehouse, we have this tab called the get data, and here is a new pipeline. And I'm going to create this new pipeline. I will be calling this one PL and load to tables. Okay, so this is the name of it, and we are going to go ahead and create now. So here we are presented with a lot of options here, and we are going to select our source. We can go to the new here and then select our source. So you can kind of scroll it down and take a look. My eyesight is not that great, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just filter, and I will be searching for data lake. So once I search for it, I'm going to see right here Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2, and then I will be creating this connection. So I have to provide this URL, and this is very you can copy the same thing and then just paste it. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and paste this, delete the container, and this is where my storage name is going to go. So I'm going to go back to my storage, and here is my storage. I will just copy the storage name and then come back here. So it is going to be your storage name .dfs.core.windows.net. So you paste it right there, and it is asking you want to use the existing connection or you want to create new. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for a new connection. So once I select new connection, then I have to provide the connection name. I'm going to call this one ADLS 2 and connection. Okay, so whatever the best name, you always find some naming convention you use and provide that. After providing the connection name, you're going to go ahead and provide the authentication kind, and in this case we will be using the account key. For the account key, we will go back to the portal.azure.com, and here is my storage, and I will be going to the network and security, and that's where we will access keys. Once I click on access keys, I'm going to hit show, copy the key and come back here. I'm going to paste the key here, and then we hit next. If our connection goes well, it's going to start showing us the step number 2. Okay, here's a list of the containers what we have here, and these are the same container that you see under your storage here, and you can see we have 2 containers, and we are interested in the Synapse container. So I'm going to select the Synapse container here, and then it's going to show me all the folders, and in this case I'm interested in the input folder. Now I have the input folder selected, and maybe I'm only interested in sales data.csv file. So I'm going to read this file and then write the data to the table. It has taken a look on the sales data.csv and selected some of the option. You also have the option to change. If you want, you can read different type of files which are Avro, JSON, Parquet, Excel, XML and ORC. So in this case, we are fine with the comma delimited file. Then you have comma delimited, and you have semicolon, pipe, tab and whatnot. So you have row delimiter. You can also select according to the whatever the file configuration you have, and it is showing us some sample data here, and then you can hit on advanced. You can filter by the last modified if you want to look into those things. Compression type, I don't have any compression and anything like that, but if you have, you can choose one. And then once you have data very validated, like you see it makes sense to you, then you're going to hit next, and here we are going to the write to the connection to the Tech Brothers Lakehouse, and we will be writing to the tables. You can either load to the existing table or you can load to the new table. I'm going to select the new table, and then I'm going to say sales data. Now what's going to happen, you can change the name of the columns if you like. In this case, maybe I want to say, hey, guess what, I want every column to be starting with capital, and then instead of F name, I will say first name. And whatever the changes you want to make, just make the changes. and then you are good to go. And from here you can enable partitioning as well. So if you click right there, it is going to give you this more option. You can select the partition if you want to add the column on the partitioning, because you have to tell like on which column you would like to create the partitioning. In my case, I don't have much for the partitioning, so I'm gonna just uncheck it, and then I'm gonna click on the next tab. So here is a summary. It is telling you it is going to read the limited text and write to the Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse table. You can see right here, this is our Lakehouse name and this is our table name, and here is our CSV that we would like to read from the input folder. And then start data transfer immediately. That means that we want to create our pipeline and run it right away. If we don't want to run it right now, we can just disable this and save it. But I'm going to go ahead and click right here, save and run. So in this case, the pipeline is created and it's called the PL load to tables. And now it has copy activity. Under the copy activity, you can see the source connection and destination connection. So you see that it is reading from our sales data from the input container, from input folder in the Synapse container, and that's the connection to our ADLS Gen2. Now in the destination, you can see that it is the Lakehouse, it is tables, and then it is writing to the sales data table. So it is in the progress right now, and finally it is completed. Now if I click right here in this canvas area, it's going to show me succeeded. Now if I click right here, it's going to show me more detail. It's going to tell me how many records read. So 1 file read and 8 records, and those are written to the table. Now I can take a look on more details, such as total duration and a duration breakdown in those cases, and then hit advanced, so you can see different information. I can go ahead and close this one. So here our pipeline is completed, and now what we can do, if we need to schedule that, we can always go to schedule here, and then we can set up the schedule. We can hit now, and then maybe we want to run hourly, daily, weekly, or whatever we can. And there is another option, we want to add trigger, and then depending on the event type, we can do that. We are going to create all those different pipelines and go through all the tabs to show you the detail, but here we are going to keep it simple. So you see that how we can read the data from the ADLS Gen2 file and load into the Lakehouse table. So let me take you back to our Lakehouse here, and then we have tables here, and I'm going to refresh so we can see our sales data table, and let me see if it is there. So now still I'm not able to see. Let me refresh, and here is the sales data, and I can click right there, and then probably I can view right here. So let me view the data. So I'm going to just minimize this one a little bit. Here I can open a new notebook, and simply once the notebook is created, I'm going to drag that table into this notebook cell, and it's going to show me all the data from that table. Or I can use SQL analytics endpoint, and that will also help me to write the SQL query. So right now I'm using a notebook here. So it is writing a query, select start from this table, limit 1000, so read 1000 records, and then it's putting into data frame. That's a structure in the PySpark that is like a column and rows type structure. So it is a kind of table, and then we are displaying after the data frame is loaded with this information. And here are our records from this sales data table. So I can simply use the SQL as well in this notebook, and I can go right here, change to the Spark SQL, and then in this case I can drag this table here, and it is a simple select query. So if I want to put where clause and everything, so it make it easy as well. So these are called magic commands. So here are different languages. You can use PySpark, you can use Scala, SQL, or HTML and all that. So in this case we have used PySpark, this right here, and here we can use the Spark SQL. That will simply we will write a SQL query, because we are telling on top of that, hey, use SQL in this cell. So once you run it, you're going to see the same data what you have seen above, because we are executing the same query, select query. So this is how you will be loading the data from your ADLS to the Lakehouse table. Now if you want to go ahead and take a look on your pipeline run, you can close this one. Let's say we don't need this anymore. And now what I'm going to do here, we can go to the monitor here. I'm going to close the pipeline, and then also right here you can see monitor, and once you are in the monitor, you can see all the pipelines which are completed. Now you can filter as well, and let me see actually just this pipeline right here. Okay, so if you click right there, you're going to see the execution detail of this pipeline. You can go click on this one, it will give you more details. So this is how you will be able to monitor your pipeline and how many records are loaded and any other details though. So I thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.